And this is a game where players are different ninjas tasked with a mission to collect certain items, and the player that does that first is going to be triggering the end of the game, but the player that actually wins this game is the player with the most victory points. You're going to be getting different victory points for different items that you're able to collect, because you only need a minimum amount of them in order to complete your mission, but if you do get more of them, those will be adding to your victory point potential at the end of the game. And this is a game where players are going to be moving their ninjas around the board and interacting with different elements as well as the other ninja, but a really interesting, unique mechanism of this game is that you can actually modify the board itself, because underneath the board you have two sliding pages, a blue one and a red one, and you'll be able to use your movement actions in order to slide those a number of spaces, and that allow you to actually modify the structure of the board and create new paths that weren't there previously. On a player's turn, you'll be able to make 3 manipulations of the board, and this is really interesting because not only are you trying to set yourself up for success, but since all players are on the same board, any changes that you make are also going to affect your opponents. Ninjas can move freely within the area that they are confined in by the walls, but there are also staircases that are on different areas of the board, and you can use those to kind of teleport to another area. Of course, you're doing this to try and get your ninja in the same area as one of the items that you're trying to complete in order to complete your objective. But some of the items that you need to gain in order to complete your objective are not necessarily items that you can just go ahead and pick up. Instead, they're sort of badges that you earn when you engage in combat with an opponent and win the battle, or even summon a creature out on the board. And to engage in combat in this game, you're going to have to pick up a weapon from one of the weapon tiles. You'll be able to use this against any opponent that's in view, and assuming that they don't have some sort of token to defend against it, you're going to be gaining a shinobi token, but you're also going to be able to take a treasure from them, and you're also going to be sending them back to their starting position. In order to summon a creature out on the board, you're going to have to slide the 2 sheets so that these blue and red icons overlap to create this symbol. Whenever you do that, you're going to be gaining a creature that you'll be able to put out on the board, and each creature is going to have its own set of movement points, but you'll be able to use that creature to also attack opponents, which will force the opponent to lose one of their treasures and will also gain you a summon token. And like I said, these tokens might be required in order to complete your mission. There's also an icon out on the board that players can land on that allows them to draw a tool from the tool bag, and these can allow you to do things like move through water, move across the rooftops, or even climb over walls, and they can also allow you to hide from attacks. When a player completes their mission, they have to raise their flag up to let all the other players know, but then to trigger the end of the game, they also have to get back to their starting position. This gives the other players the opportunity to try and steal different items from them or cause them to lose items, or just try to focus on getting more victory points themselves so that when the end of the game is triggered, you might stand a chance. But once the game does come to an end, each player is going to be tallying up their victory points, and the player with the most victory points wins. And if you want to check this one out, I will have it linked in the description down below.